stuck, of stuckness.
I find that at the very moment of stuckness, if you just stop and look around you, you find the world is very real. If you remember back in your own life periods when your life was very vivid, it was usually during a hang-up, or at least for me. So I think stuckness is very good for people, and that when it comes, you should welcome it because it won't last long.
Being stuck.
You always are. I think people in Western culture are trained to believe that if they get stuck, that may be the end of the world. But life doesn't stop. It just goes on, even when you're stuck.
That feeling of being stuck in your personal life, in your job, in any inconvenience that sets your schedule off, is so overpowering to us that it sets us into fear, of stuckness, actual panic. Don't we get in the way of our own growth in the middle of that stuckness by not taking it and just living it?
Now, stuckness is kind of what you call non-doing. And our whole society is set up for doing. We always ask a person when we want to know about them, well, what do you do? You know, well, actually, in Zen, the correct answer is I don't do anything except sit. You know, and they say, you just sit around, don't do anything. Yes, exactly. You know, and I say, well, something wrong with that. I mean, what do you really do? You know, and the reason this question is asked again and again and again is because people are predisposed to think that unless you are doing something, something's wrong.
Stuckness.
And this is a part of the value of the sitting meditation, is that you're instructed just to sit there and prevent yourself from doing anything, and you find that this is not as easy as you thought it would be. You think, well, gee, now I don't have to do anything. That's easy. But you discover after about 10 minutes that this is very, very hard, and that there are as many degrees of difficulty in non-doing as there are in doing. And to become skilled at non-doing is quite as difficult as becoming skilled at doing. But then after you acquire both skills at doing and skills at non-doing, you find that if you're stuck in traffic, it doesn't...
Being stuck. Of stuckness.
Or you just sit in your car and you build your life that way. It's almost like photosynthesis and respiration. You know, if a plant just gets nothing but sunlight, it's very harmful. It has to have darkness too.
Of stuckness.
And in the sunlight, it converts carbon dioxide to oxygen, but in the darkness, it takes oxygen and converts it back into carbon dioxide. And I think people are like that. You have to have some periods of doing and some periods of non-doing. And when you get both of them in a mixture back and forth, then you really lead a much fuller life than if you're always committed to doing.
Of stuckness.
So many people say, well, I don't see the purpose of Zen, you see, or the purpose of just meditation. And the reason they don't see it is because they're committed to doing it. You don't do anything, you know. But when you don't do anything, all the garbage in your head that's accumulated from all this doing during the day starts to come to the surface and float away, and your life is purified again, or at least your mental life, psychic life. And this is very valuable. I think it's a practice which is coming in very strongly, and not just in Zen, in all the meditative disciplines.
Of stuckness.
Your mental life, psychic life, and this is very valuable. I think it's a practice which is coming in very strongly, and not just in Zen, in all the meditative disciplines. It's your mental life, psychic life, and this is very valuable. And I think it's a practice which is coming in very strongly, and not just in Zen, in all the meditative disciplines.
Of stuckness.